If you had to pick right now, you got to bet that palatial estate of yours there, Harry, down in the Atlanta area, on one player to be the MVP of the league this year. I don't mean against the field, but I just mean you're picking one guy. Would Jalen Hurts be the one you pick?
No, the guy I'm picking is Patrick Mahomes. Like, if we're talking about Patrick, listen, how could you bet against Patrick Mahomes, guys?
How could you?
So if I had one player to pick, I'm betting my money on Patrick Mahomes. I'm betting my house on Patrick Mahomes because he showed me that he could be the MVP of this league. Not once, but twice. Not win one Super Bowl, but two. Not go to one AFC Championship game, but host 5. So I'm putting my money on Patrick Mahomes.
Graziano.
I agree. Look, and it's no insult to Jalen Hurts to say this. I mean, you could be the second best quarterback in the NFL for the next 10 years and still not be better than Patrick Mahomes. He is a once in multiple generations level talent. It's unfortunate for everyone else in the league that they're going to be fighting against him.
Cronin?
That's the safe pick, and I'm not really being much of a risk taker here saying Jalen Hurts, but that thing was neck and neck down the end of the 2022 season. Had he not gotten hurt, maybe he gets the MVP in 2022. The ceiling conversation with Jalen Hurts is why I have him as my MVP pick, because I don't think we've seen him scratch how good he can be. Top 4 in total QBR, in the red zone, in the fourth quarter, everything you saw last year in that make or break year 3 jump that got him the big contract extension. How much better can you get with another year with Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith? The offense is staying the same despite losing their coordinators. He and Brian Johnson have a terrific relationship. I'm excited to see him take the next step and jump further into that MVP conversation.
I would add as well, I think Hurts would be the guy that I would pick. Sure. And part of this is that it's a narrative award. Michael Jordan didn't win the MVP every year. LeBron James didn't win the MVP every year, even though they were the best players. Sometimes, I'm not suggesting anyone has preconceived notions, but you want to spread it around a little bit. I also think the Eagles will have an easier time this season just based on their conference than the Chiefs will. Jalen Hurts would have been the MVP last year if he hadn't gotten hurt. That, too, I would bet on. Now, having said that.
It's not true.
You don't believe he would have won the award last year?
Mahomes had it salted away by the time Hurts got hurt. Look, this time last year, what were we talking about? Oh, anybody could win the AFC West. The Chiefs might have fallen behind. They lost Tyreek Hill. How are they going to do it? Mahomes had salted that thing away by the time December.
See, I don't look. I mean, I need to go back in my mind. I feel like we were saying Hurts was the favorite at the time. They only lost one game that he started the entire season.
Favorite through like the
I feel bad because I love Jalen Hurts. I don't want to be anti, but I think Mahomes was the clear MVP last year.
All right, let the record show, for all of you in Philadelphia who will now be angry, it was Graziano who said that in the purple jacket today. It was definitely not me.
Thanks a lot.
You're going to be real popular on Broad Street. In the meantime, it's all well and good to pick the favorites. If it's Mahomes, if it's Hurts, that's easy. Show me the odds here. Give me someone outside the top 4. So the favorites, as you see, they're bunched up. It's Mahomes, it's Burrow, it's Allen, it's Hurts. Those are the easy ones. Let's go down the list a little bit, Graziano. Show me a name you like a little further down the list.
I mean, look, there's 2 guys in that right-hand column who have won the award, so I don't know if that's a difficult one, but I like Trevor Lawrence. I think that Jacksonville is set up, right? Like, he spent the first half of the year last year learning some new teammates, learning a new offense, and he was awesome by the end of the year. I think that's just an upward trajectory there in Jacksonville for everybody. I think there's a good chance they're 6-0 in their division. I'm watching out for Trevor.
I love it, too. 18-1. I think he is a sneaky, excellent pick. Cronin, Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, new offensive coordinator. Let's hope that health is on the side of the Los Angeles Chargers because it never seems to be. You get Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, like great play calling, can actually utilize his arm and get that ball going vertical. So I think that this is somebody coming off of, I guess what we'd call a down year. Let's get him back to 2021 form and enter him into the MVP conversation because he's going to be there. He won 10 games last year.
You're on Lamar.
Yeah, I'm going Lamar Jackson. He has something that he hasn't had since coming into the National Football League. Weapons. You talk about Odell Beckham Jr., Zay Flowers, on top of still having those 2 tight ends that they love to get the football to. But new offensive coordinator Todd Monken, they're not going to abandon the run game, but they're going to have better pass concepts. So that's why I'm going with Lamar Jackson.
Cindy, it just occurred to me that when this question was asked of me, I was thinking of someone who was sort of off the board, but that I didn't pick Aaron Rodgers. I would like to apologize to Aaron. I'm sorry. I should have thought of that. I want that graphic changed. If we ever do it again, my pick is 100% Aaron Rodgers. He should be the MVP. My runner-up is Garrett Wilson, and in 3rd place is Quinnen Williams. So let the record show that Trevor Lawrence is like 4th. But I can't be okay with this. We need this changed. If nothing else, take a picture of the jersey.
You're gonna have to,
I don't feel right.
You're gonna have to give it back.
Yeah, I don't feel good about this.
You have to be more careful.
No, I want to apologize. That's on me. That's on me. That is, score that E1 if you're keeping track at home. My pick, oh, thank you. Oh, I feel better now. Well, I can continue with the show. Quite candidly, I almost had to leave. All right, Cronin, slide in here. We got to go. Okay. All right, so there we go. Now I've picked Rodgers. I feel better about life. According to our analytics, the Steelers have just a 34% chance to make the playoffs. That is worst in their division. Remember, Pittsburgh hasn't won a playoff game since 2016. But Mike Tomlin does not lose a lot of football games and certainly doesn't ever finish last. So my question here, and we did this when we did with the big questions a few weeks ago. If you had to make a pick right now in that division on who will finish last, do you believe it will be the Steelers? Because I think that is what the conventional wisdom says.
No, I would never bet against Mike Tomlin. He's a guy who got the job in 2007, has not had a losing season yet. But I also like where the Pittsburgh Steelers are this year as a team, right? They upgraded their offensive line. Broderick Jones brought over Isaac Seumalo from the Philadelphia Eagles, a guy that understands how to win. You have another tight end in Darnell Washington to go along with Pat Freiermuth. I like what Pittsburgh is. And we also know if T.J. Watt is healthy, this team is completely different than when he's not on that football field.
Yeah, if you looked at those picks down there again, Harry and I both said not Pittsburgh.
You didn't pick.
I don't know. I'm not picking. I'm telling you, I don't know who will finish last, but it won't be them. Someone's season will get sidelined, sideways by injury, whatever the case may be, and it won't be them. You're saying the Steelers are last.
And I think it's because I look at it in totality. I don't think they're better up front than anybody else in the division. They don't have better skill players than other teams in the division. Defensively, Baltimore's better than them. They have the advantage as that head coach. There's nobody that's going to pick against Mike Tomlin, which is why I feel bad doing this. I could see it going either way between the Steelers and the Browns, and we know that if Kevin Stefanski's offense doesn't fit getting Deshaun Watson back on track, that's probably going to send the team in a downward spiral. But just taking a look at this right now with the Pittsburgh Steelers, I can't see how not to put them in that fourth spot in the division.
Graziano, you're going Cleveland.
Yeah, I just want to say how proud I am of Courtney Cronin, who had a hard time deciding between Steelers and Browns, but made a pick anyway. Unlike you two guys who decided not to pick and just said, oh, I don't think the Steelers. The rules say someone will finish in fourth place. That has to happen. So I need picks. Like
at least me and Greeny on the same page.
I had the gut. Now I got the Eagles fans mad at me. Now I'm going to get the Browns fans mad at me. Take a chance, guys. Who do you like?
Well, I'm going to go
last?
with at least the Browns then, because
all right, thank you.
If I'm choosing between Kevin Stefanski and Mike Tomlin, I'm not choosing Stefanski. He's on the hot seat. He could potentially not even be the head coach of the Browns next season.
Well, I think that's for sure. If it doesn't work out with them this season, it's not going to be Watson who goes anywhere. It's going to be the head coach. I actually think the Browns have a sneaky, interesting chance to win that division.
Yeah, it's a hard division to pick.
People don't talk a lot about them.
It's a hard division to pick. That's what makes it so impressive that Courtney and I actually decided to make picks.
We understood the assignment.
It has been so long since we have talked about Deshaun Watson in the context of football for all of the understandable reasons. But the reality is that we're going to have to on some level. He is the starting quarterback of the Browns this year. And when last seen, Deshaun Watson was not one of the 10 best. He was one of the 2 or 3 best quarterbacks in football. He was.
Well, when last seen, at the end of last year, he wasn't very good.
No, I understand that. But you know what I mean.
But
when last he had an actual season and an actual, everything was somewhat normal.
But that's part of the issue, right? Didn't play till late last year, didn't look good, didn't play at all the year before. What are we getting? Are we getting the 2020 version of Deshaun Watson?
Well,
if so, then I will change my pick. But
if we're not getting that, if they're not getting that, then that could be one of the worst contracts of all time, right? I mean,
without a doubt.
It changed like the entire league. It changed everybody. Everyone was mad at them for doing it. They better get an outstanding quarterback out of it, and they will do anything they can. And that's what puts the coach.
Greeny, what were our picks again?
It's not the Steelers. I'm living with not the Steelers. What can you tell us? It has been an offseason of high expectations for Justin Fields. I did an essay here. I think he has a chance. If everything goes right, I think he has a chance to sort of be the next in that line of quarterbacks that we see develop, the way Josh Allen once did, the way Jalen Hurts did a year ago. What are we seeing in Justin Fields as this preseason gets underway?
A lot of up and downs, and I think that that's normal at this point of the preseason. This week, they were practicing a lot of different cadences, some coming in from the sideline, and the coaches being there, delivering the play call, going no huddle. There was a lot of variance, which leads to some bumpy days for the offense. A lot of red zone work, a lot of work on third down. Everything they've done this offseason has skewed towards the development of Justin Fields and making sure that they give him every chance to prove not that you know immediately, year 3, you are the franchise quarterback. But can you show steps that you're going to get there with more time in the system and more belief in what you're doing, meaning more pieces brought in around you? We've seen DJ Moore and Justin Fields routinely connect for big gains. The other receivers in this group too, Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, despite a couple injuries here and there, seem to be getting back on track. But it definitely has been an upgrade from where Justin Fields was last year, given everything that surrounds him, offensive line and wide receiver.
So look, we can look at this from the positive side. Everything could go great, and that would be a wonderful opportunity for this team to turn it around from where they were a year ago. They were the worst team in the NFL. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.